Hi, welcome to the Pursuit of Truth. So just to show that all politicians are exactly the same, this bit from Sky News about Keir Starmer getting more freebies than any other serving Prime Minister, including former Prime Ministers Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak. £100,000 worth. And they conflate it with the idea of, he's taking money away from, I think it's these pensioners are the ones where it'll be means tested, and so I don't think it's all pensioners, it's just means tested pensioners, the ones that can afford it, keep it. But the real issue is that Keir Starmer does not need £100,000 worth of freebies because he's a very wealthy man, such as Rishi Sunak and Boris Johnson. That's the problem, really. That's the crux of it. And that's the thing when he says, when these, and it's not just him, it's all of them, when these premiers stand up in front of us and say they know our struggle and they, this, that and the other, when they're living in huge houses and paid off their mortgages and going on holidays all the time and then getting all these freebies and these free concerts and all this kind of stuff, that's the disconnect and that's the injustice and imbalance. Those kind of freebies should be going to the people that don't have any money, that have to scrimp and save all the time, or don't have these opportunities. The people with all the money are the ones getting all the opportunities, all the free gifts when they don't really need them. That's the unfairness of it. That's where the image doesn't match when he's trying to be this, or Labour, where the party of the people, of the workers, of the unions, and this, that, and the other. And yet he's getting all these freebies because he's a very wealthy man. He should be, and the problem is with freebies, well, their maxim is nothing is ever for free. Even like when you get these free websites and stuff, it's because they gather your information, and if you take this thing, then what, is there a connection with it, even if it's not implicit, It's like, was that phrase, greasing the wheels. So that's the problematic part of accepting things that are free. But it's just the way this politician tries to defend his actions as life experience. Oh my goodness, it's like, what, was he in a cave all this time and now suddenly he needs all these life experience, like going to Taylor Swift concerts, so he can connect, so he can take all these freebies worth £100,000 and go watch Taylor Swift and Coldplay, or go to watch his favourite football team that he could probably afford himself. He could do all that just so that he can connect with us ordinary people who don't get all those freebies, who don't all have all that money or the money that he's amassed over these years. This is why I've always said that I think that the Prime Minister should be someone that is, on the council estate, someone who is poor, because they will understand the problem of those people that need the help the most. Because people who've got lucky, who've got good jobs and or worked hard, etc., then they don't need the help that other people need. And they will be the people that will address the inequality and imbalance of the society and world that we found ourselves upon, that I go on about all the time. Anyway, here's the Sky News thing. You can hear it for yourself. I couldn't help from laughing from this defence that it seems indefensible that a very wealthy man, but that's what always happens, isn't it? It's not just him. It's lots of these celebrities that get all these free gifts and all these free things when they're the ones that don't actually need them, ironically, because they have all the money to buy them, but then they're given all these free things because it's like, well, because you have this, you're seen going there, and then it's attributed to that, and that's the value of why they give away these free things. Take care, take it easy, God bless, and peace.
Good morning, everybody. The business secretary has told me it's fine for Keir Starmer to take free tickets for concerts and football matches so long as he declares them. That's after we revealed he had accepted more free gifts and hospitality since the election in 2019 than any other person in Parliament, 2.5 times more. The minister this morning also insisted there's nothing wrong with the Prime Minister's most senior advisor, Sue Gray, being paid more than he, and that long-standing processes were followed. We'll speak to Mari in just a second, but first, have a listen.
Anyone who's doing a job of the pressure, of the scale, of the importance that the Prime Minister does, spends pretty much every bit of their waking life working on it. And if they've got the chance for a little bit of time with family or something that's important to them, in this case, lifelong support for a football team, again, I don't think that's a problem. I don't think people object to that. And I think those are reasonable points that are made there in terms of why and how you would attend doing so. And again, I think we've got a completely open system of transparency in this country, which is the right thing to have.
And it's okay for him to accept tickets to Taylor Swift concerts, Coldplay concerts, that sort of thing?
Well, yes, I think these are major cultural, sporting events. I think it's important people in public life have some connection to that, that they are aware of that. Of course, going to see Taylor Swift, I've never seen her myself, but I hear it's a very significant and lovely experience to do so. But again, as long as those things are declared openly, transparently, in accordance with the rules, there's no objection on my part to that.
And you're very content that you're taking 300 quid off pensioners while he's freeloading with £170,000 worth of freebies, 2.5 times more than the nearest person to him on the list, and significantly more than even people like Boris Johnson and Rishi Sunak.
Well, first of all, I think you're conflating two issues there. The reason we've had to make some tough decisions already in the first 2 months is because there's a big black hole in the public finances. And the only way we have the opportunity to tackle that, to give this country the stability it needs, is because of what Keir Starmer did in changing the Labour Party, winning that election, and giving us a chance to move on from that Tory division and chaos. I don't think that is the same thing, and I know Keir Starmer personally, I know how hard he works. If he's going to a football match or anything to give himself a little bit of a wider life experience than just working every second, again, I don't have any objections to that as long as it's transparent. But I think to conflate the two issues and forget the fact that there are major issues facing the UK that can only be addressed because we've got a change of government wouldn't be right.
Okay, so let me talk about public finances then, may I? £170,000 a year for Sue Gray. Why is she worth it?
Well, first of all, I think it's important people understand that the pay bands for any official, any advisor, are not set by politicians. There's an official process that does that. I don't, for instance, get to set the pay for my own advisors who work directly for me. So there's a process. We don't have political input into that. But on your second part of your question, I would say Sue Gray is getting on with the job of this government, delivering on our promises. I think that's what matters more than anything else for anyone who works in Downing Street, and I can assure you that is exactly what is happening.
The PM apparently intervened personally in order to make sure that she did earn more than she was originally offered. It's been embarrassing when he's previously criticised Dominic Cummings' salary, saying £40,000 per year rise for Dominic Cummings, £3.50 per week for NHS nurses. The mask has slipped.
Well, again, I would say there's a process that sets these things. It is widely recognised, it's long-standing, it hasn't changed, and that is how pay bands are set for any advisor or official.
How many other civil servants get that sort of money?
I can tell you.
Yeah, okay.
I'm not aware of that. I don't set civil service pay.
No, I'm sure. Explain to me the stunning arrogance of a member of staff who thinks that they should earn more than the boss.
Well, look, this is clearly an important job, I believe.
More important than the Prime Minister?
Sets these pay bands. Well, I think there's a process that sets these pay bands, and it will reflect previous experience, it will reflect the role. Quite honestly, I don't know more about the process than that, other than it is a long-established way of establishing within certain pay bands remuneration relating to the job that you do. I understand that is what has been followed in this case.